What's going on? Welcome to Miss Watley Presents Old School Tuesday Turnup. How's everyone doing tonight? That's what I'm talking about. Listen, I want you guys to do me a huge favor. Come next week, you guys have to get out and vote. Please vote next Tuesday, because next Tuesday's election day. I'm going to go out and vote. So, hey, you guys need to vote. I'm sorry that we started the show early. Hey, you guys, as long as you guys are here. So, we just started 15 minutes early. So, oh well. You know, we just want to be on time. So, I said, well, you know what? Let's start early. Why not? You guys ain't doing nothing anyway. So, I wasn't doing anything. Let's start early. So, without further ado, listen, I got this, legend right now in here. I would sing a song, but I can't sing. So, I'm going to let her do it. Everyone, please show some love for the one, the only, Cece Peniston. Hey, Cece.
Hey. Hey, girl.
How are you?
Hey. So fine.
Yes. You look so beautiful. How are you doing and everything?
Thank you. You look beautiful as well.
Thank you.
Blessed and highly favored. There's been, I'm sure, like everybody else, there's been so much going on in the world right now, but
Right.
I think everyone's kind of learned how to move through
Right.
what's going on. Yeah.
Right. You know what? Let's take it all the way back. Let's go down memory lane. How did us as the fans get so blessed hearing your beautiful voice? Like, why did you start singing? What motivated you that you wanted to sing?
You know what? I just loved it. Like, honestly, I still do to this day. Like, I was just in the shower singing just a little while ago, right? And it's so funny. That's when I hit my woosah time. So I started when I was like around 11. I hit the stage, right? And I did this play, and I said, oh. And I got this euphoric feeling, right, when I was on stage. And I said, oh, this is what I want to do for my life. And that was it. That was it for me. Even though I went to school and stuff, I told my mom, I said, hey, this is what I want to do. And that's when it started.
I see a picture of you. You did pageants. I did pageants as well. I don't tell nobody about that, but I did pageants as well. You were crowned Miss 1989. You was crowned Miss Black Arizona. Then 1990, yes. You was crowned Miss Galaxy. Just being in a pageant, what experience did you gain that help you, that help you further along for the music industry?
So I would definitely tell you, being on stage, they would ask us questions, right? They would say, hey, you have to answer in 20 seconds. And you're like, oh snap. Okay. So it made you think really quickly on your toes. And I think that was probably the best part of the segment, because like right now, being in the music business, you have to answer like interview questions and stuff like that. So it helps you to maneuver through that feeling of like, hey, you got to answer now, Right.
So, your song, Finally. I'm going to jump right in because I know everybody wants to, we want to hear about Finally. I love that song. What is, I know the story behind Finally. Okay. How did you even get a chance, sit there, perform it, record it? What is the story behind Finally that some people may not know?
So, you know what? I was in chemistry class, right? I was sitting there doing like the little pie square and stuff, right? And Dr. Judd. I was in Phoenix College, right? And I was like, I haven't met a guy like, what I'm saying? Like, what would I say if I met him? Finally, right? So I started writing like poetry. And then I met Wax. Me and Wax were at the club. I think it was either Vinny. Was it Jockey Love or Vinny's? Vinny's. We were sitting in the club, and he was like, hey, C, I seen you doing your thing around Arizona. I want you to come in and do some stuff in the studio. So I did background vocals for Pooch, who was on A&M Records at the time, right? And I did the background vocals for her, which was I Like It, I Like It, right? So that's where the all that was born during that time, right? Before I even did Finally. So he said, I want you to come in the studio. And he said, what do you want to do? And I said, well, I have this song. I was writing poetry, but I don't know if you're going to like it or not. And it turned out to be Finally. That's how it came about.
Oh my God, I'm so glad you recorded it. Like that song, I can go in the club right now and it just plays. I think I told you earlier, like they play your song on our radio station here in Kansas City. Like it's constantly playing. If not there, well, I'm in the car, listen to my Sirius XM radio, the Groove station, and I'll be like, Finally, yeah. And I'm sure the song driving. right. And I'm trying to drive in there, and then driving and dancing ain't the most. It's not a good look. It's not a good thing to do. Please, everyone, don't try that at home. But before before I go on to the next question, everyone, please share this video. Please share it so everyone can come in here and watch me interview the one and only Miss Cece Peniston. Now, okay, so you had finally. Then you come out with We Got a Love Thing and Keep On Walking Down. Okay, yeah, I can't sing. And Keep On Walking. I think what was your highest record, your highest single. What is it like having those accomplishments like that? Just having those accomplishments.
You know what? It feels so amazing, even to this day. Like, people will hit me and be like, guess what's on the radio right now? I was just in Lowe's. I was just in Home Depot or Subway, and your song was playing. So the fact that 30 years later, like, people are still, look, I'm aging myself. Look, y'all, I'm only 42, y'all. Look. Anyway, no,
you good.
But anyway,
it was good.
Right. Thank you, girl. So the fact that people are still loving me, like, so many years later, I was surprised. Here's a funny story for you. So when finally came out the first year, I was traveling. I was only home for like 3 weeks out of the year, right? And I was making money hand over foot, right? And then I was like, but I still don't want to move. I was in an apartment. I'm like, you can get a house. And I'm like, no, I was driving a Pathfinder, still going to Jones, New York, learner, getting my clothes, y'all, because I was just that simple girl from Arizona who got a record deal. And I was just like, hey, I'm just doing what I do, which was singing on stage. So after that happened, I got into the music world, and I realized the pageant thing came back again, which is, hey, you got to be on your glam with your eyelashes and your makeup and stuff like that. So look, here we are, me and you having an interview now.
Right. So what is it like? What is it like how was it for you working on your first album and your second album? Like, what experience did you learn from both albums? Or did you face any challenges through any one of them?
Absolutely on both, because the first album was just raw. It was just raw talent, raw energy. These are the tracks we wanted to pick. This is me. And then on the second album, it was like, hey, I want you to duplicate the first album. And it's like, hey, that was the first album. This is me now. I've grown.
Right.
This is 2 years or 3 years later, and I'm a different person. I've been traveling and touring the world, and I have a different view on life. So now you want me to duplicate. So it just was giving people that CC feel, but still being myself at the same time, being authentic.
Oh, okay. I like that. I really, that's what I'm talking about. I seen where you were named the Hot Dance Music Artist. But honestly, what genre do you really consider yourself? Like, what genre do you like to be in, or does it really matter to you at all?
Oh, I don't pick a genre. I let other people do that. I don't. I've done jazz albums. I've done jazz records. I've done dance. I've done R&B. I've done house. I've done, like, you know what I'm saying? I've done ballads.
Right.
I think that other people, or I've even done EDM. EC Twins, like, you know, so Richard Bignon. So I've done different kind of music. I think it was the music industry that said, hey, you have to pick. And I said, no, y'all gonna have me in a whole potluck on the first album, and then I have to pick a genre now, you know?
Right. I like that. I just like that. I heard your voice. I know your voice from anywhere. So yeah, you can be gospel, you can be R&B, pop. It does not matter as long as you just stay true to who you are, and everything else will just flow together. And I just love the voice the way it is. You know, like you have finally Keep On Walking. We Got a Love Thing. It's just listen to your voice. And when you listen to those lyrics, it's just like, oh, really listen to her sing. Oh my God, she can rip a song, just tear it up, just really tear it up. And that's what I like so much about you. So I see you have been on the Apollo's Showtime on Apollo. Everybody's been on there. You perform. Yes. I'm not over you. I told you about what happened to me earlier. I was sitting there trying to drive earlier today and blasting up your song. And I'm like, and I'm trying to dance. It's not going to work. It wasn't going. It was not going to work. It does not. I'm telling you, driving and singing, dancing, and trying to drive at the same time. It doesn't work. So, what is this like? Being on Showtime and Apollo when everybody else has been on other artists, and you on there and be like, oh shoot, I'm Cece Peniston. I'm on here now. Like, what's that moment like for you?
So the first time I was on there was my first time. I had just gotten into the music industry. I was so nervous because I had heard all the things where it's like, hey, if you don't do a good job, they're gonna be like,
The Sandman.
girl. They're like, Sandman gonna come get you, right? And so, so I got on there, right, and I was like, man, I was performing, but I was like having anxiety. Like backstage, people didn't know that because I was like, oh man, this is my first time on like this type of platform. National TV is always nerve-wracking anyway because you can't take anything back. So you already know if you mess up anything, they'd be like, so what happened?
It's there forever, right?
And especially right now with MTO, Blossom, everything. Look, everybody's vlogging. So it was that kind of thing. So but I loved it because what I realized is that they really love the music. People love the music. They love the person. They loved my authenticity. And when me and the dancers got on there and we started doing our stuff, they were like, hey, girl. They loved it.
I know I seen your performance and you did a nod over. You were like, damn, hit it. Boom, hit it. 1, 2, 3, bam, hit it. I can't do it. You were hitting, you was bam, bam, hit it. I can't do it because I'm sitting down, but if I was sitting up, I could sit here and kill it. So you not only were you on Showtime Apollo, but you appeared on Soul Train so many times. Girl, oh my God. Like, Soul Train was my show. I still wish it was on. But you have appeared on there so many times. What was just being on that stage with Soul Train, Don Cornelius? What was that like for you?
You know what? As a child, because nobody I know in the Black community did not see Soul Train.
Right.
So when I had the chance myself, just as a child, I would look at it. And then I had a chance as an artist that was in the music business to be on that show. I was like, oh, this is amazing. This is epic because, Don Cornelius was like, it's like, that's prime right there. That's epic, to be on that type of show. Because that means, hey, I've arrived. People know my music and they love it. And so, like, people don't know this, but when you're an artist and you're looking out, you see people singing your lyrics or dancing to your music. It's like I get little goosebumps and stuff. Like, I'm so happy. I smile, be on the inside like, man, they know the lyrics. They love it. Like, I'm smiling for real because I'm thankful because not everybody gets a chance to be in this music industry. And that's what people don't understand. In the 90s or 80s, what it was, 2000s, you had to get a record contract to be in the music business. And not everybody got one. It was exclusive, right? So now everybody can be the record company. So at that time, it was like, hey, let me run home and see the new Michael Jackson and Janet Jackson video, like video channels. It wasn't reality TV. So it's like to have that opportunity was a special blessing for me.
You had Soul Train, MTV, Video Soul, all the beats. You had Rap City, you had all those shows. It's funny how I remember them shows back in the day. I'm 33 years old, young person. I never told you. Now you know my age, I'm young. But we had all those shows growing up. And it's sad that you watch TV now, you don't have that. It's all these reality shows. It's like, what happened to where Saturdays you can get up and go watch a music video. I remember they used to have BT Uncut. Okay, it was uncut, but still, they had it. They had everything you could think of under the sun video. So you had Donnie Simpson. You had everything. MTV. 106 The Park. I mean, you had new songs, all songs that were coming out. Now you don't have that anymore. So it's like, man, I miss them kind of days, and it's sad that it has to be like that the way everything is going. So I get
what? But we can bring that back. Because if everyone can be the record company, right? They can have their own channel. They can bring back the videos. They can bring back the subscriptions. They can bring back video music box, and they can do all those things. I think it takes just foresight and having a plan and understanding truly how it's going to go. I think that's the main thing because right now, if you look at it, I've looked at the streaming revenue, right? So where people are getting more revenue is over, I would probably say, in Europe. China, North America, Australia, Africa, like in those areas, London, just Europe in general, that's where people are making the most because there's probably about 60 different apps that's coming out probably in 2023. Okay. If artists really look at that. So artists, I'm an artist advocate. So artists, get on your streaming game and check it out. That's all I can tell you. Look.
Yeah, I really would love for them to bring back Soul Train, but that would take a lot. And due to so many artists out, like, why not bring back Soul Train? Like, but it's never going to be the same, though. Of course, it's new generation, different. So, I mean, I don't know if you watch American Soul, which is about, you know, Don Carney. I watch it. I've been watching since season 1. Me
yes,
too.
Girl, what? Yes.
That is my show.
Man,
like,
yes.
Me too. Girl, I got to talk to you about that afterwards. But... like I didn't like, oh my God, that is my show. I've been watching since season 1, and then this past season was really good. The ending was like, what in the world? But it's like, but it gives you an insight of, you know, what they were doing, and I'm like, oh my God, that is a lot that they were really doing back then. But so, what is it like performing with your peers who came out with you in the 90s? Like, you had Robin S., you had Sybil, Crystal Waters, Martha Wash, Jocelyn Brown. And let me say, I've heard you do the rendition of Jocelyn Brown's her song. I was like, look, she be doing, all right, that's what I'm talking about. But what is this just performing with those other ladies and just your peers in general?
It's definitely a blessing. I respect everybody's work and love their work. Like, I'm one of those artists, I'm on the sides. I love your music as much as you love mine. You know what I'm saying? But I know that, I know there's certain people, there's certain personalities that don't get along with certain personalities or certain energies that don't get along with certain energies. But you know what? That has nothing to do with the body of work that somebody has created. Correct. And so I will tell you that as an artist to another artist, I respect other artists' work because I understand the time, the effort, the authenticity, and everything that it takes to be that person. Because the artist and the person is separate. That's what people don't realize. You have your daily life, and then you have your artistry. Two different things.
Right. I like that. It's just some people, yes, there are some people you cannot. It's sad that some artists can't get along, but you're here to make money. Like, why can't you get along? Why you have to compete? You never should have to compete against anyone, but sometimes it's like that, though. I get what you're saying. Like I seen... Earlier, what I remember I told you, I seen you, Sybil, Crystal, Robin all together on an interview. For you sitting there, and I'm like, man, I wish I was interviewing all four of them. I would have made that fun. But it was just, I'm like, that was the only change. You may not never see you guys like that, you know, again, but it was just in that moment. I'm like, wow, why can't it be like that all the time? Like, everybody, you're all from the same genre. It's like, wow.
Because people don't let it. You know what? People come in sometime and they change the mindset or the energy of somebody towards you or towards them. And it really doesn't have to be that way, because if there's mutual respect among artists, right, that created a body of work, it's the song that made you feel something within your heart or made you feel something within your energy. And sometimes people come in the background and be like, oh, they, or this and that. And you're like, hey, why are you doing all the extras, homie? No, not all that. You know what I'm saying? So, look, I've experienced it personally. I just don't talk about it like in the forefront, because I feel like in the industry, there's certain things that just need to stay where it needs to stay at. And that's how I feel. If I respect you, I respect you. I respect your artistry, and that's how I'm going to leave it, period.
Right. I like that. I just love that. And I like that you're so real in the energy and you're so down to earth. Like, I can see myself, I can talk to you about anything. Like, you're just that cool person, because I can see another side of you that's not on the stage. I can know Cece off the stage, not Cece on the stage. And that's what I like so much about you. So before I move on to the next question, please, everyone, share the video. Just, if you got comments, I will read your comments. So just share this video. But I remember, like I think I told you earlier, last year, I told you in a text, I was watching BT, Black Girls Rock.
Yeah.
You was up there doing your thing, and I was just like, that's what I'm talking about. But it was nice to see that BET had not only you know, Crystal and Robin S. to come out. And you see everybody was standing up, and everybody was knowing all the words to you guys' music, your music. And every time one come out, and we still jamming. Then you got off, another person come out, we're still jamming. It's like what is just that, like, just seeing, you know, looking out to the crowd, seeing all those the younger generation like myself sitting here knowing the words to your music, and we still love it.
You know what? It's such a blessing. Like, for me, like, it was my mom's the anniversary of her birthday, right? She had passed like the year before. So it was her actual birthday on the performance day. And so and it was like, people were like, hey, you got to perform on her birthday. And I said, oh, you just going to show up like that? That's how we doing things? You just going to show right on up with your wings right now? You going to make me perform right? So I was behind the scenes with so many different emotions for so many different reasons. And I was happy that, for one, that I was performing on her birthday. For two, I was performing with my peers. And for three, that people actually noticed dance music as a genre on BET. And they gave us the love that we gave us. And for four, when you go and see it's Stephen Hill, Brandy, those people in the audience, and they're your peers, and you're like, I love you too, and they're singing your words, it's a blessing.
Yes. I was one of them sitting here saying, I was like, I wish I was there, but I'm not there yet. But I was like, I'm sitting there, yeah, that's what I'm talking about. What? That's what I'm talking about. Like, and then you're beautiful as chorus is amazing, but you're getting, I'm like, and it's just that house dance, the music and genre. We're just sitting, boom, boom, boom. I'm like, yes, that's the kind of music we miss. You know, I wish you could just come back out and do that all up. Just do it again. Perform songs like that. I mean, that's the kind of music, you know, we miss. Instead of listening to all the songs that's on the radio, sound like a bunch of mumble crap. And it's just like, really? Like, what is this? This is not music. What happened to the good music that we used to, you know, that we know so much of? So, yes. I remember.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you. Can I give a shout out? I just want to give a shout out to Mickey Boom, because Mickey Boom put that whole look together for me. He said, Cece, go back to 1991, the little hairstyle with the bangs and the bobs.
Yes.
Show people that 1991 Cece. So I'm giving a shout out to Mickey Boom. I love you. So thank you.
All right. And so in September, I told you earlier, I watch Wendy Williams every day, okay? So I remember when she announced that she was using your theme song finally for her show's theme song. How did you even get that news? Because I was one of the people that was sitting there, I'm like, what? She just said, that's what I'm talking about. She better do that. That's the song. It was like, then you come on and perform. I was like, go, yeah. I'm like, that's what I'm talking about. Like, how did you get that opportunity?
I was so excited about that. Excuse me. Actually, Paris Toon set that up from Mother's Favorite Child. He set that up. He was like, hey, Wendy wants to use your music. I was working with him at the time, and he was like, hey, see, they want you to do a theme song. I was like, oh, that's what's up. Okay. He said, Wendy loves your music. And other people have told me, like, even I performed on Wendy before. They said, hey, Wendy loves your music. And I said, well, I love Wendy. So we love each other. You know how that goes, right? So they said, here's the rendition. We want to do it for like 9 weeks. And people don't understand it's like a licensing thing. I mean, we were like, hey, why did they stop that?
Right.
Because it's a licensing thing. They have their own like theme song, but it's kind of like doing the switch up. Let me switch it up and do some variety. So that's what happened with that, right? And so I ended up being her first guest on the show, and then Cardi B was on after me, which was amazing. So that was just an amazing time for me.
Right. And I remember sitting there just watching. I was like, that's what I'm talking about. Hey. So let me ask you. I know a girl, her daughter wants to be a singer. So, right. So the thing, and I'm like, and I hear people always say, I want to be a singer, And I'm going to be sitting here like, okay, what do you mean want to be a singer? Do you know what you're going to go through? So my question to you, since you've been in this industry for a minute, a long time, what advice would you give that young girl? The woman's name is Amina Nazim. And her daughter, she can sing. She can sing her butt off. That I know. I heard her daughter sing. She can really sing, but she wants to be a singer. What route for a younger like her and other upcoming singers? What route would you sit there to tell them to take? Like, what advice would you get? Try to tell them. What advice would you give them?
I would definitely tell them to be intentional, to own their publishing. Own yourself. Don't let anybody own you. Let them bring you tracks, and you own your own music, because that's the only way you're going to win in this streaming world right now, right? If you can record over in Europe, record in Europe. And I need people to Google. Why, because I can't give you everything, but I can tell you, Google why. Because if you understand why, then you'll go, oh, okay, this is why she said that. Be authentically you. Be intentional about how you want to move, because you know what? There's some kid who came to LA who don't have a place to live with holy tennis shoes, who wants the opportunity. And if you really don't want the opportunity, then make sure that you give that opportunity to somebody else, because it's hard. This business is hard. They're fickle. They want something new every day. Why do you think people change their hair every day? I changed from red to green to brown one night.
Right.
It's coming. Look, the business is fickle. They want, look, it's a sexually driven business. So you have to give sex without being over the top of giving them a little mystique, but still giving them something that they want to see at the same time, right? You can't, like, this business, it's not about you getting old. It's not. It's about you staying relevant. It's about you staying current and being in the mix. I mean, it just really is. So if you really want to do this, make sure that you put all your ducks in a row. And remember, when you do it, look, you have music, graphics, radio, you have internet radio, you have interviews, you have this, you have that, you have your look, you have your pictures, you have everything. So remember, when you're doing it, make sure you have the 10 things or 15 things that you know it's going to take to push that one record.
Wow. You know, nowadays it's not. I remember when I was a kid, you know, in the 90s, you had like people like Toni Braxton, Mariah Carey, Whitney Houston, you know, all those artists, from even Britney Spears, the pop singers, Christina Aguilera. And the next thing you know, by the minute, it's like 1 minute you listen, you hear the songs, the next minute you don't. And then next it became a sex symbol. They're doing this. And so you see girls like Cardi B, Megan Thee Stallion right now. It's just like, what happened? Like, whatever happened to the music?
I think people's mindset changed. I think what they wanted to see changed, because people kept pushing the envelope. So now, what you wouldn't even see on regular TV, right? Or what you wouldn't see just on a regular everyday Instagram page has now become commonplace. And so that's what the difference is. And people keep pushing the envelope. So you either have to say, I'm going to push the envelope. Look, in the 90s, did we have OnlyFans? In 2000, did we have OnlyFans?
No.
Were we in the house and couldn't work? Were we on tour? Were we doing real music? Did we have to do streaming? It's like right now, as an artist, you have had no choice but to be involved in your own work, to stream your own work, unless you're getting royalties. You have no choice to put out your own product, because they're really not signing deals unless you are extremely fabulous. And you have to be willing to put everything out on the table, which means you have to be willing to be vulnerable to the whole world. Have people judge you, talk about you, comment on you, say things about you. But guess what?
Right.
If you do those things, you can have what lays behind what they say on Family Feud, door 2. But you have to realize what you're willing to sacrifice and what that balance is. Because some people are like me, you didn't have to do all that. You had a publicist, right? Who would protect you from anything. You didn't have to answer your own DMs, or you didn't have to be on Instagram. It used to be like, dang, I wonder what they eat every day. I wonder what they do every day. Now it's like, if you don't post every day, we don't know who you are, and we don't care.
Right.
So the shift and the mindset changed of everything.
And not only that, social media has came in. I mean, being in high school, there wasn't no thing, no Facebook, because I was class of 05. There was no Facebook, no Messenger, no Twitter. I mean, there was Black Planet, but still in MySpace. But it was going out as I was leaving college, and all that was coming in. So by the time I got to college, here comes Facebook. I'm thinking, what's a Facebook? What's, you know, all this other stuff, YouTube and all this Instagram. So now, yes, things now have changed, because like I told you earlier, I'll be on your Instagram. I can see what you're doing, if you're posting something, if not on your Facebook or whatever. But if you don't know what your favorite artist is doing, you just gonna, then that's it. Or unless or you have, like, unless you want to start your own show, somebody like me, and decided, you know what, I'm gonna gear my show around about anyone who's been in our industry over 20 plus years and see and give their journey of their aspect of what they went through in the, in the industry. And then now people are like, now I'm interviewing people like you and other people I have already interviewed. They're like, oh my God, you interviewing this person? Yeah. Like, and some people are saying, I remember I used to grow up on their music. I know this music. I know this song. I love Cece. And I told you earlier, you called on my Facebook. Everybody's like, I had one coworker say, you look exquisite. People are like, I love Cece's music. And it's like crazy that some people still have not forgotten who you are. And that's what I like, that I am doing this. So, I like.
You know what? I'm thankful. I'm really thankful because you know what? I've always said that people don't have to love you. People don't have to support you. You know what? There's so many artists out in the world right now that guess what? They can forget about you so easily. And the fact that people still support me, I'm really thankful. But I think one thing about me that people know is I'm authentic. I answer my own emails, like I have a whole team around me. My team is me. My mother used to be my manager. My mother passed. She told my brother, take care of your sister. So my brother's my manager and Lucy is with him, right? So we have a small team. I used to have a big old team. And then I said, you know what? This is where I'm at. And I'm thankful.
Cut all those people.
Yeah, you know what? They're still around, but they're just not immediate everyday attention because guess what? You know what I've noticed and I'm happy? I always tell people, do better than me. I've noticed that people have moved on and they have started their own businesses. They're doing like my girl Angela she used to do my makeup and I haven't seen her in a while, but she has her own lip gloss line, Glow Getter Beauty. And then my boy Corey, he's doing his thing, right? It's just Mickey Boom. Mickey has his own consulting business and he's doing stuff. So I'm just telling you, like, people move on and I'm like, look, I'm happy. Do greater, do better. Find like 10 things within. Why do you have to be limited? Shoot, I'm doing cartoons. I have a reality show on the way, girl. I'm doing all the voices and
Okay. That's what I'm
like,
about.
Okay, you want to hear a voice?
Right. Girl, you better tell me because I watch Love and Hip Hop shows at Real Housewives of Atlanta, Potomac. I watch all of that. But if you do reality, you better tell me where you're gonna be at, what time frames. So I can sit here and watch and be like, hey, that's what I'm talking about.
So we're still we have the sizzle reel done, so we're still selling the show right now. So, but it's already done. And when you see who's in the reality show, and if you have somebody we can talk off camera, then I'll let you know what it is, right? Cool. I think people are gonna love it because they're gonna be surprised, actually.
Oh, okay, cool. That's what I'm talking about. So, how has the business changed for you since you were out back in the night? How has it changed just for you, being when you first came on the scene in the '90s compared to now?
It definitely took my innocence. It definitely took my innocence as far as like what I would think that people would be. I learned to trust my intuition. I would say that I've definitely been blessed by the people who have listened and downloaded my music. What I really realized that music was healing for people. People love music. It's a way of healing their heart and their mind. And I was a part of that history, so I'm thankful for that. It hasn't been always great experiences. I've learned that sometimes the personal comes into the artistry, and you have to separate the two. Sometimes you got to go on stage and some shit just happened around the corner, and you be like, "Damn it!" I gotta go on stage right now. I've learned because of that. But I have my challenges as well. I've had my good times, I've had my bad times, and I've had my really bad times. But you know what I can tell you? Those really bad times made me a greater me. It made me start doing vision boards. It made me more aware. My third eye is open. I feel like I see people for what they are, and they see me. I feel like they see me and I see them. COVID has been very difficult. It's been a change, and it's been difficult. It's not even all my shit, I say, but it doesn't matter. If I have a friend who has something going on, I'm not going to abandon you for what you have going on, because guess what? I may have something going on the next day, and I need you. So just being there for one another and understanding that people are human and have things going on, and life is life.
Yeah. Right. I like when you said vision board, because that's funny, because someone just asked last week, Robin S. was like, do I have a vision board? I'm like, asked me, have I heard of one? I said, yes, I heard of one. And I just started it, but I got to talk to you about your vision board because I just have a little bit of stuff on there, but I like when you say vision board. I'm like, that is the second time someone says vision board, and I just like what Corey's over here like, yeah, we trying to tell you, but
Yes.
yeah, a vision board for me would definitely there's a lot, and I remember I was at work the other day and I was putting it, just writing some stuff down, just staying, staying humble, stay focused, keep doing what everybody's like, keep doing my show, keep doing this, don't give up. So it's like, that's why I was like, what, she said vision board. That's so funny because I got to talk to her now about her vision board. Like, because I'm trying to do mine too. And I'm trying to figure out what else, put on there, what all I need. It's just, but I'll talk to you after the show about that. But yes.
Let me say this. So every New Year's, I do a vision board for the past 6 years without fail. People know, don't even invite me to a party. I don't want to go drinking. I don't want to do anything. I want to start my vision board because that starts my life and my year. And what I do is I put the vision board in the middle. That's the current one. I put the year before that, and then I put the year before that, like after that, underneath, so I can see what happens. And when I tell you, like, several things, I remember one year I just put the word Bali. The next year I was in Bali riding elephants. Seriously. Then I put be a 7-figure sister, right? And that deal, I did a deal of 7 figures that year. And I was sitting there just crying. I was sitting on the side of the couch like, wow, it really did happen. I was surprised. But I was like, okay, well, you put it on your vision board, so you expected it. And what it does, when I look at it and I put like different pieces, like I cut out different stuff out magazines, right? And I'm going to make it quick. But what I do is I go back to it and I say, oh, it's almost December. What didn't you do? You better get it handled. And I go like this, oh, this part. And sometimes it comes the next year, but then you go, damn, I called it though. So I've been blessed. I'm telling you, I've been blessed with them vision boards, girl. Keep me in alignment.
Okay, I'm definitely going to talk to you about mine because I didn't know, I talked to you after show about mine.
No
just
problem.
To get it together. Okay. Okay, so you've been doing this, it will be marked 30 years next year for you. Being in this industry, girl, oh my God, I cannot believe it. What accomplishments can you honestly say, have you accomplished everything you wanted to? Or is there still one thing you still want to accomplish?
Oh, there's many things. I would say if I'm done living right now, then let's just chalk it up. Right now, I'm good. Like, I feel like life is already boring and you got to already, like, it's filled with so many different things. What I'm saying is, it's like if you do the same thing over and over again, it can be boring. I don't like it to be boring. So if I had to say my best accomplishments were being the first woman after apartheid to go to South Africa in history and perform in South Africa right after apartheid in 1994, right? Being able to perform for the Pope, and Andrew Bocelli was there, and Diane Reeves and Thelma Houston and Lois Walden, and you know what I'm saying, Mavis Staples. So all those things are like amazing. I've shared the stage with some amazing people. I did the first Woodstock, which was with Phoebe Snow, and the same crew of people. I mean, I've been really, really blessed in my life to perform with some great people that gave me great advice. And so if I had one more thing to do, it's simple for me. It's keep going. That's it. I don't know what life is going to bring. And because I don't know what it's going to bring, I love it. I don't like to put boundaries on what can happen because you never know. And it can be so amazing. And it could be like, the picture with the axe where the guy is going like this.
Right.
And then you got the one and he getting ready to turn around and you're like, you just missed the whole blessing because you just couldn't wait a minute. Delay is not denial. And I feel like 2020 is delay. But it's not denial. It's not denial. Is it some fuckery? Yes. Yes. I'm sorry, I have to say it just like that because it is. And I know people are over it. But be patient. Be patient. Because what is to come is going to be greater than in this moment right now. God was teaching us some lessons because he can see things that we just can't see. And I know I cussed like 1 minute ago and then I said a blessing, but that's just me.
Hey, that's just you being real. I like that.
That's
I like
me.
that. Just keep it real.
So,
right. But I do get what you're saying. Some people might think, during COVID, we're stuck at this. But I'm like, somebody like me, I find it to be a blessing because I get to interview people like you. I would have never. Who would have thought if this was last year? No, I wouldn't be interviewing you or your other peers. I'll be sitting here like, But then I'm like, you know what? Let me see what happened. Put out all these requests, and then it came you, and I'm like, you know what? It is nothing but a blessing. I told you I have more interviews right after you, and coming up, and it's just like a blessing. So it's been a blessing for me, and sometimes other people too. But I do get what you're saying though. So
I'm happy for you, and I'm glad you know
thank
what you
you.
just you stepped out just stepped out and said, "Hey, I'm gonna try something different." It's funny because I had met Tall Boy before we had met in Atlanta, right?
Uh-huh.
That's your folks, and we had met in Atlanta. I did a show there, and we had listen. That interview was so much fun. It was so real, and then I found out that y'all two relate. I told him I know two Tall Boys, so he's Tall Boy one, and I have Tall Boy two, right? And
Right.
so I'm thankful to get reacquainted with him and
Mhm.
get to know you. So it's
Thank
a blessing
you.
for me. Yeah, definitely,
Thank you. What
definitely.
is the next chapter for Cece Peniston?
Um, Definitely continuing my Petty's cartoon. I love doing
Okay.
that because I get to speak through the cartoon things I can't say on a regular basis. Hey, I can't be petty, but the cartoon can. And then getting into more acting.
Okay.
Getting into more acting because I feel like there's a side of me that wants to come out, and it
Mm-hmm.
may not be Cece Peniston that does it, but the character may.
Right. Right.
You
I can
know,
definitely. Yes.
more music to come. I just did a single with Jackie's Boy called "We're Just Getting Started." It's a movement song that we
Mm-hmm.
did that just came out. I'm getting ready to get back in the studio with Billboard Killer with B Howard. We're getting ready to finish up some music. So there's a gospel project that I was starting upon
Mm-hmm.
before everything started. So everybody will see. Then I did what remake versus original. So,
Oh.
re- okay, you like that one, right? So,
Yeah.
remake
Yeah.
versus original. Let me tell you what that's about. Remake versus original is, you know how Versus does 20 songs
Uh-huh. Yes.
out of your catalog, right?
Yes.
So,
Right.
remake versus original is the one song that created 20.
Okay.
Because we're in a world of interpolation,
Mm-hmm.
and we're in a world of sampling and
That's
streaming.
true.
And so
Yes.
sometimes people don't know where the original comes from. So,
That's
you
true.
know, like even like Keep on Walking has like Bob James. Like I showed people when I did the show was Bob James. It was
Mm-hmm.
like, but Bob James and look synthetic. Look, there's so many. Put it like this: if you saw the show, I'm not
Uh-huh.
gonna give y'all everything because we're still
Right. You
doing
don't
all
have to
the
tell them, but you
editing,
can tell
right?
me
Like
behind the
that
scenes. You can
part,
tell me
right?
behind the
That
scenes.
part. So it just tells you where everything comes from. People were surprised that finally had actually a jazz version.
Ooh, ooh, I gotta hear.
And
Okay.
it was slowed down. So it was more like if I had to tell you it was something like this, right? It went it went finally it has happened to me right in front of my face. My feelings can't describe it. Finally, something like that. And I was like, oh, I might have to take that and put that in my show while you're
Right,
praying.
right. I
Right.
like that. I really
Right.
like that slow version. I like that jazz. That is what's up. I really love
Thank
that.
you.
Now,
Thank you.
before I get out of here, because I know
Okay.
people, why didn't you have her to do her hit song or any song? Why did you get her to perform? Due
It's
to
okay.
everyone. So I'm gonna let everyone know. The videos that everyone's watching, we told you earlier, is we don't want copyright. So everything videos are the volume is turned down. So if you don't
Okay.
mind, can you please sing one of your hit songs? If you don't mind.
Okay. So I'll do a little acapella.
Okay.
Here we go. Meeting Mr. Right, the man of my dreams, the one who shows me true love, or at least it seems, with brown cocoa skin and curly black hair. It's just the way it looks at me, that gentle loving stare. Finally, you come along. The way I feel about you, it just can't be wrong. If you only knew the way I feel about you, I just can't describe it. Oh, no, no. Finally, it has happened to me right in front of my face. My feelings can't describe it. Finally, it has happened to me right in front of my face. And I just cannot hide it. Something like that.
Thank you so much, Miss Cece. Thank you. And thank you for being here. I'm so honored. I had just the blessing time, fun time with you. And thank you for allowing me to interview. Thank you so much. I also want to say thank you to my production guy sitting over here, Tall Boy. Hey, Tall Boy, can everybody see you? He's like, hey, how you guys doing?
Like, yo,
hey, that's Tall Boy.
Son?
Yo, what's up? Hey, everyone, that's Tall Boy. It's Tall Boy. And it's so funny because we're all in different time zones right now, so don't expect we're not. I know, right? You're on the west. I'm Midwest. He's on the east. So there you go. So listen, you guys. Unfortunately, next week I do not have a show due to the election. But please go out and vote. It ain't that right, Miss Cece? Everyone needs to go out.
Yo, make sure you get your vote in. Period.
That's what I'm talking.
Because I'm gonna be out tomorrow, get my vote on, and that's what's up.
I'm voting next Tuesday, the day of. Go right on out there and vote, and come right on back in and call it a day.
That's what's up. You already know I know.
Okay, that's. Hey, yes. And thank you all for tuning in tonight to Miss Watley Presents Old School Tuesday Turnup. And do the next week for the election, I won't be here. But I'll be back November the 10th with another artist, but I'm not going to tell you who it is. Even Miss Cece don't know, but I tell her after the show, though. But I'll see you guys November the 10th. All right, guys. See you later. Bye.
Thanks for having me.
No problem.
Bye-bye.
Bye.